NBA players are ridiculously overpaid. I don't understand the hype with Michael B. Jordan. Couples should not move in together before marriage. Getting into a relationship in high school is completely pointless. Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron. So for today's video, I'm gonna do a Unpopular Opinions Part 2 video. So I already did an Unpopular Opinions video 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't seen that one, watch that one first before this one and then come back to this one. Yeah, so in the first video I said I had a whole list of unpopular opinions, and I was gonna put these unpopular opinions in the first video, but I figured that would be too much. So today I'm back with my next set of unpopular opinions. I only have 10 today. I enjoyed filming the first video, so I think this one should be fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If any of my opinions you agree, disagree with, make sure to let me know and tell me your thoughts down below. I forgot to say, I'm in my car again today. If you didn't notice, I'm in my car again. So you're probably gonna see a few videos of me in my car. So without further ado, let's get into these unpopular opinions. Okay, my very first unpopular opinion is NBA players are ridiculously overpaid. I think this because the fact that NBA players, basketball players, get paid more than doctors and teachers combined, I think that's ridiculous. It makes no sense. They get paid millions of dollars just to shoot a ball into a basket. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And then you have doctors and teachers who get, especially teachers, they make so little for what they do. It's ridiculous. The teachers are the ones that give us our education growing up. The doctors are the ones that are saving lives. Basketball players do none of that. They just entertain people, basically. Yes, I know a lot of work goes into being a basketball player. A lot of working out, a lot of training, a lot of practice. I know, I get it. But, I mean, I don't get it because I'm not a basketball player. They get paid $20 million, $30 million, $40 million just to run up and down a court and shoot a basket. It's just, it makes no sense. Doctors should be getting paid that much. And there are some who do get paid that much, but most of them don't. And teachers, they only get paid only 1% of what an NBA player makes, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe I feel more closely related to this because I have like so many teachers in my family, and they should definitely be paid more. And I know I can't relate because I'm not a basketball player, but still. My next unpopular opinion is strict parenting makes no sense at all. I feel that if you have a really good kid who listens, they do what they're told, they make good grades in school, they don't cause hardly any trouble, I feel like those kids don't deserve strict parents. If they want to hang out with their friends on the weekend, if they are just a good kid, I just don't see what's the purpose of being strict? It's not fair to me. But I will say, if you have bad kids, then obviously you have to be strict with them because they don't listen, so they don't deserve privileges and they don't deserve to hang out with their friends, just have everything their way. I think if you have good kids, I'm not saying you need to be extremely lenient and let them do whatever they want, but you can at least just not have such a tight grip on them. I have friends in school that their parents never let them do anything. They couldn't come over to hang out. They couldn't do anything besides stay home all day, every day, and it just didn't make any sense to me because they were good kids, because all my friends were good kids for the most part. Whenever I have kids one day in the future, I just don't believe that I'll be a strict parent. I really don't. Not unless my kids were bad, and fingers crossed that they're not bad. But the next one, my next unpopular opinion. I don't understand the hype with Michael B. Jordan. I really don't. Like, I can see that he's handsome. He has a nice body. Great, we get it. Girls like go crazy over him, and I just don't get it. I've seen a couple movies he's been in, and yes, great actor. We get that too. I don't know, maybe it's just his face and his body, but it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't even think he likes black women, so that makes it even worse. And most of his fans are black women, and I know he's dating Lori Harvey, but that's a whole different conversation. Every time you see me out with a woman, it's 9 times out of 10 not a black woman. I don't get the hype. I don't get it. Especially the mustache. I'm not into the mustache. The big Steve Harvey mustache. I don't get that either. I don't like huge mustache. I don't really like mustaches in general. He seems like he has a nice personality, so I guess handsome, nice personality. Okay, but it's like I just don't understand. Like, I understand if you like him, you like his work, you like how he looks, cool. But girls like are obsessed with him and like are literally going crazy over him. They get like super jealous whenever they see him with somebody, and I'm like, that's what I don't get. Like, is it that serious? I can't relate. Okay, number 4, couples should not move in together before marriage. I just feel like you shouldn't move in together unless you're husband and wife, or at the very least engaged. Because when you're engaged, there's a deeper commitment made, and you know you're working towards a marriage, and you're gonna get married very soon, at least hopefully. And I feel like when you move in together, when you're just dating, or when you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, I just feel like it's kind of pointless, because where's the incentive on the guy's part to propose to you if you're already playing wife and he's already playing husband? There's literally no point in you guys getting married if you guys move in together before marriage. And I want to say this doesn't apply if you do not want to get married, but I'm talking about people who do want to get married and you move in together before marriage. It doesn't make sense, because why buy the cow if he's getting the milk for free? That's the classic saying that everybody says. It's just because you're already living together, you're already cooking the food, you're doing the laundry, y'all splitting the bills, live in the same space, wake up together, go to sleep together. That's everything that a married couple does. So there is literally no incentive to marry you. The only incentive is if you pressure him into marrying you, or if you tell him like, oh, I'm gonna leave you if you don't propose. So me personally, I wouldn't move in before marriage, just because I feel like a part of it is for religious reasons. But oh, excuse my voice, I don't know what's going on. If you watch my first video, then you know that I don't believe in weddings. Weddings are a complete waste of money. So whenever I do get engaged, we'll probably get married like right after that, because what's the point of having a long engagement if we're not having a wedding? We'll probably get engaged and then move in soon after, because we're not gonna have a wedding, most likely. Weddings are a complete waste of money. My next one, number 5, child support payments should not be over $20,000 a month. And I feel like even that is a lot. I've seen like women, they ask for $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, $300,000. I'm like, baby doesn't need that much. Even if you have more than one, it doesn't need that much. Only way I can see it being more money is if, of course, if the guy's rich, and if the baby has some type of illness, disease that they need a lot of medical attention for. So that costs a lot of money, obviously. So maybe I can understand that. But if the child or the kids are fine, they're healthy, there's nothing wrong with them, and you ask for hundreds of $1,000s a month, I think that's unfair, and I feel like it's unnecessary, and you're just trying to take his money, because a lot of women, they say it's for the kids, but they end up spending most of it anyway, because they want to keep up that lifestyle that they had when they were with the dad, if he has a lot of money. And a lot of these women, they don't want to work to try to keep up their own lifestyle that they used to have. No, they just want to divorce the husband and then take half of his money and say it's for the kid, but it's really for themselves so they can shop it. And I know some people say like private school, they use the money for private school, and that's, you know, that's why they need so much money. But kids don't need to be in private school. It's not a necessity. Private school is not a necessity. Public school is free. You don't have to have a tuition for public school. That's not something that a kid needs to have, private school. If a person works really hard to make their money and then they end up getting a divorce, and then the ex tries to take half of it and claim it's for the child, I just don't think that's right. So the reason I say $20,000 is because I almost feel like that's almost too much, but I feel like $20,000, how much is that a year? $240,000 a year? That's a lot of money. Like, if you have more than one kid, then, okay, if you got like 3, 4, 5 kids, okay, $20,000. But I feel like if you only have one kid, you definitely don't need $20,000. What do you need with $20,000 a month? Again, if the kid is healthy and fine and you don't need to put your kid in private school, what do you need $20,000 a month for? Definitely not clothes. Child support is supposed to be strictly for the kid. Using it on anything that doesn't involve the kid is just messed up, in my opinion. My 6th unpopular opinion is I can't stand dogs. Or I can't stand dogs or animals, period. Like, I seriously do not understand people who love dogs, who like are obsessed with dogs, people who treat their dogs like their child, like their baby. I don't get that at all. Like, it's more of like a fear. I have zoophobia. It's a real thing. It's a fear of animals. And I've been like this my entire life. Every time I see a dog, I run the other direction. And if you watch my very first YouTube video, then you already know that I don't like dogs. Go watch that video if you haven't watched it. It's my weird questions tag. I talked about it in that video. I don't like animals, period, but dogs in particular. Dogs, cats, lambs, horses, gorillas, monkeys, none of that. I don't like animals. I've been to the zoo though, but I can handle that because they're in a cage. But whenever I go to my friend's house and they have dogs, I got attacked by my friend's dog. Like, not attacked, but the dog came into the room and I jumped on the bed. He jumped on the bed too. He almost got me and she had to like pull him away. Traumatized. Just the thing with dogs is that they're like so unpredictable. You don't never know what they're gonna do, and I can't stand the feeling of like fur touching my skin. Like, I can't. Like that thought makes my skin crawl. I can't do it. People love to say,
"Oh, you don't have to be scared. He's nice. He's not gonna bite you."
You don't know. You don't know if the dog is gonna bite or not. Just because the dog hasn't bit you doesn't mean he's not gonna bite me. Just like if I'm sitting in the car here right now with someone, you think that I'm not gonna slap you in the face, but that doesn't mean I won't do it. Just because you've never seen the dog act up or be mean or do the crazy stuff doesn't mean that the dog won't do it. And the barking and the sniffing and the being all up in your space, and don't run in front of a dog because the dog is going to chase you. Can't stand animals. You're never gonna see me have a pet. I can do a goldfish. I had a goldfish when I was younger. Her name was Ashley. She was red. Yeah, but she died. I think I killed her. Yeah, I don't do dogs. I don't do dogs. 7th unpopular opinion. Naming a son after their dad is so boring. So basically, juniors. So if the daddy's name is Michael, you name your son Michael. Daddy's name is Robert, you name the son Robert. Daddy's name is Sean, you name the son Sean. I never liked that. I think it's so boring. And it's such a waste of a name. The only exception I have is if the father tragically passed away before you gave birth, then of course, who wouldn't, name the son after the dad? If that's not the case, then I don't like it. I think it's so boring because I'm the girl that's like obsessed with baby names. So if my husband's like, oh, let's name the son after me, no, I'm not naming him after you. Whatever I name my son, I want people to call him that. If the dad's name is John and you name the son John Jr. and everybody just calls him JJ, I don't want that. I want them to call him by his name, not JJ, because that's not what I named him. I didn't name him JJ. His biological name is not JJ, it's John. But obviously you can't call them both John because then that's going to be confusing. See, that's why I don't like it. And especially when you have like multiple generations of the same name. If you have like John Smith the 5th. Is it that serious? Was it that deep? Did y'all like the name that much? Just really because I just love baby names so much. So I wouldn't want to name my kid after their dad. It's such a waste of a name to me. It's just such a waste of a name. Just unoriginal. Think of your own name. Name the kid that. So number 8, my 8th unpopular opinion is getting into a relationship in high school is completely pointless. Y'all more than likely are not going to end up together. Y'all are going to break up. 90% chance, 99% chance. You're not going to stay together. You're not going to get married. You're not going to have kids together, maybe. But even if you did, most likely still going to break up. And then that person is going to be your baby mom or baby daddy. I feel like when you're in high school, that's ages 14 to 18. Most people at that age are so immature. It's just not conducive for a healthy relationship most of the time. Really in high school, you should really just be focused on school, your homework, and your grades, and just like hanging out with friends. And not worried about having boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff. Because again, y'all are not gonna end up together. But I feel like you can date. There's nothing wrong with going on dates here and there, and like having guy friends, girlfriends, but like platonically. Having like a full-blown serious relationship in high school is just, it doesn't make sense. Because y'all not gonna stay together. Y'all not gonna stay together. I've seen it so many times. And then if y'all make it to senior year still being together, y'all think that y'all still gonna be together in college. Oh, please. That rarely ever works. You know how many people come into college with their boyfriend or girlfriend from high school and they cheat. Mostly the guy. It's mostly the guy who cheats. He's at a whole different college because most likely y'all gonna go to 2 different colleges. Don't let it be in 2 different states. The guy's gonna go off to college, or the girl, and they're gonna be surrounded by all these different people from all over the country, all over the world. You're nowhere to be found. They could do whatever in the world they want and you have no idea about it. And of course they're not gonna tell you because they're not gonna be honest. If you make it to senior year with someone, just break up before before you go to college, because y'all end up breaking up anyway. Someone's gonna cheat, and this is not every single time. There are so many couples who have been together since they were 14, 15 years old, and they're happily married and have all the kids in the world. But that is like a 10% chance. Most of the time they do not end up together. Focus on getting into college, keep your grades up in high school, not worrying about some guy or some girl that is gonna be irrelevant to you in 5 to 10 years. Especially guys, like, you don't want to date a high school guy. I'm just so immature at that age, 15, 16, 17 years old. They're no good. It's pointless. Don't date them in high school. Just even in college, I'm in college now and they're still immature. High school boys are useless. It's no point in dating them. No point in falling in love and dating them and planning your life around them and thinking y'all gonna be together forever, because again, most likely you're not gonna be together forever. Okay, number 9. Why are we giving kids birthday parties before they turn 5? Whenever I see people like throw these huge parties for their kids for their first birthday, their third, their fourth, their second birthday, I'm like, they're not gonna remember it. They're not gonna remember it. It's pointless. It's useless. They're not going to remember it. And I'm here saying all this, but watch when I have a kid in like 5, 10 years and me have like the biggest party for them because I'm so excited. But if I had a kid tomorrow, they're not gonna get a big birthday party for their first birthday. Not until they turn 5. But even then, it's not gonna be big. Basically saying that I probably would. It's pointless to seriously celebrate a kid's birthday before they turn 5. Like, you can invite a few people over, have like a little backyard thing, that's cool, but hiring a party planner, renting out a venue, inviting 50 million people, and doing the extras and all of that for a 1-year-old. Why? And I know you're excited that's your baby and you love your baby, of course, and I'm not a mom, so I can't relate. But, and then when they get older and they ask you about it, you have to retell the whole story. And most of the people who are at the party probably not gonna remember it either, 10, 20 years down the line. And 1-year-olds don't have friends, most likely, so you're inviting a whole bunch of adults to a 1-year-old's party. That's not fun. Like, who wants to go to a 1-year-old birthday party? People's memories don't start coming in until they're 5. Like, most people don't remember much of their life before they're 5. Cause I know for me, I remember the earliest birthday that I remember is my 4th birthday party, and it was at Chuck E. Cheese. I remember that. But anything before that, I have absolutely no recollection. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. That's the biggest thing. It's a waste of money because they're not gonna remember it. And they're probably gonna be asleep most of the time because they don't know what's going on, and because they're a baby and babies sleep all day. So that's the big takeaway out of all this. It's a waste of money. Last but not least, love at first sight doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. So I hear people say when they met their husband, when they met their wife, they always say, it was love at first sight, and when I just saw them, I knew right away. Every time I hear it, I'm like, here we go again, like, this love at first sight. I'm a hopeful romantic, and you would think that I would believe in it, but I really don't. You cannot be in love with someone just by looking at them. It does not make sense. It's not logical. And I know people are gonna say, love is not supposed to make sense. Love is not supposed to be logical, but it's just, you cannot fall in love with someone, be in love with someone just by looking at their face. It doesn't make sense. They could be a murderer for all you know. They could have been to jail 10 times for all you know. They could be a extremely rude, mean, nasty person for all you know. And you say that you're in love with them just by looking at them. Really. They could be the worst person you ever met. I think people confuse love at first sight with deep attraction, lust. I think that's really what it is. It's not love, it's attraction. You're attracted to them. You've never seen someone who you've been so attracted to. And so you think it's love at first sight, but it really is not that at all. And the only way I can see love at first sight really happening is if you and this person have spent like multiple lifetimes together, and you guys are now meeting for the first time in this lifetime, and your souls recognize each other. If that were the case, then I can maybe see where love at first sight can come in. But if not, it's definitely not love at first sight then. Like soulmate energy, like real deep soulmate energy. If you met that person, then But if not, no, it's not love at first sight at all. It's not. Can't be. Love at first sight is not real. Attraction at first sight is definitely real. It's not love. It's lust. Attraction, not love. You can't love someone just by looking at them. I would really like to talk to someone who feels like they've experienced love at first sight. If you feel like you've experienced love at first sight before, comment down below and tell me your experience and tell me why you think you genuinely feel like it was love at first sight and not just attraction at first sight or lust at first sight. Tell me why you feel like that, because I just don't get it. It's not real. It's not a real thing. It's a myth, a legend. And people who say they have experienced it, they have. It just doesn't exist. They can't experience it because it doesn't exist. So you can just look at someone from across the room and say that you love them. Didn't say word one to them, but you love them. At least have a conversation first. At least go on a date. At least something, not just a look. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's it. Those are my second half of my unpopular opinions. Again, if you didn't watch my first video, go and watch that. And again, tell me what you thought about my unpopular opinions down below. If you agreed or if you disagreed, let me know your thoughts. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video on Tuesday, June 29th at 5 p.m. And I love you guys if you made it to the end of this video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.